Hello everybody. For today's video, I wanted to do something nice and short and sweet, and we're just going to be doing a simple yet effective Smite 2 Alpha 1.0 support tier list. Now, obviously, there are not that many support characters right now, so I've added a few others that may be played as support, like Hecate, the Morrigan, Odin, Fenrir, obviously, because he's kind of a well-known assassin support. But this is just going to be a short video so you guys can have my thoughts on where certain characters lie, what you should be prioritizing, and who you should be playing most of your games if you want to win. This tier list will be updated pretty frequently since this is such an early patch. You can always find an up-to-date version in the Discord. Link is in the description. There's a channel there called Smite Stuff where you can just kind of go in there and download this if you want it just yourself. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this is ordered alphabetically. So I have Ares here. So starting with Ares. Ares is a really cool character. I've always loved him. You know, he's very good in a lot of ways. He's very bad in a lot of other ways. But in general, I would say that he's decent. I don't think he's that great right now. He did have a little bit of pick priority in the pro tournament that happened last weekend. So that is something to keep in mind. However, he did fall off really hard with his slight rework coming to Smite 2 from Smite 1. His old passive, I think, is just undeniably better. This one isn't bad. It's just different in a bad way. You know, he's not nearly as powerful. I do think he is strong. I just don't think he's as strong as other supports. I think personally, and based on from what we've seen, Ares right now is in a very balanced state, and that's why I would put him in A tier. That's kind of what A tier means. You know, it's the focal point of balance. That's where we'd want him to go. Realistically, we'd want every character to go into A tier if we could. I think his CC is very strong. His ultimate is very strong right now. It being able to apply multiple different types of damage at different instances is very good. And I think that Ares does a really good job of using some of the new items in the game. You know, like Helm of Darkness, being able to turn invis to get a free ult or maybe a free chains. I think that Blink uses combat blink really well. Obviously, Sunder right now is just a little too relevant to go combat blink a lot of the times, but he still uses it well when you want to get it. And Cersei's Hexstone is fantastic on Ares, being able to ult the entire team and then dash away, taking them even farther. There are a lot of use cases for him. I just don't think he's super duper strong right now in comparison to other supports. I think he's perfectly balanced. He's still easy to kill. He's easy to get away with, especially with how relevant beads are for carries and how many abilities have CC immunity or displacement immunity. So overall, I think he is balanced. Next up, we have Athena. I think Athena is slightly better than Ares based on what they did to her. So because of that, she's going straight into A+. I don't think she is necessarily broken. I don't think she's OP. I just think she is a little slightly overtuned because of the health shield she now has in her ultimate. That is so impactful on just that alone. Plus, she does so much inherent damage now with some of the new items that are in the game. Her rotation ability is completely unmatched by any character other than maybe the Morrigan, because she can turn into Athena. But overall, Athena is just so strong. Her ult can take her to any teammate on the map, providing them with an insane health shield while also doing a lot of damage if she can land on them. Her taunt has a really far range. It feels longer than it looks, and honestly, I think it might be bugged. But Athena is just so strong right now. I think, again, she's not broken. I think a lot of people are really undervaluing her, and I think she offers a lot of utility to the team, and she can really turn the tides in a lot of fights, because in any team fight where you're not there, you can get there with a health shield for your teammate, and it's just so powerful. Early and like day 1 and day 2 of ranked, when I was playing with my friend Clockletone, she really helped a lot in getting us through some of those lower leveled games where people just kind of didn't know how to play Smite. And so I really do believe that she is just slightly above balance, so we're going to put her in A+. Moving on, we have the most broken version of Bacchus that is, I think, ever existed. Bacchus is absolutely insane right now. He is going in S tier. Bacchus should be your top priority every single game. He is so strong. His new passive on the one being able to convert protections into damage is so powerful, especially with it being 85% conversion of both protections, physical and magical. And then he also has that same scaling on his 2. He just does so much. You can build this man full tank. We're talking Thebes, Mushroom, Pridwin, Stone of Binding, or even the Helm of Darkness. That also gives him intelligence to make him do even more damage. And he can do 1,000 damage in one combo at level 15, level 10 even. This character is so strong. He dominates every game that he is in. Bacchus is just such a beast. He is a must play or a must ban every game, even more than some of the squishies. I think right now Loki's just a bit overtuned with how easy he can proc some of the item effects, but I think Bacchus personally needs to be picked or banned every game with just how he can dominate in either support or solo. You can even build him full damage and he's still tanky from heroism. He's still tanky from maybe Helm of Darkness, and he's just so hard to deal with. Flop does so much damage. The stun on the burp is so nice. The ult can change a lot of things. He is a very strong character and he needs to be prioritized as often as possible. Please pick him or ban him if you can. And if you don't know how to play Bacchus, learn how to play Bacchus. He's a great character if you're a support player coming from Smite 1 and you tend to play a little bit more passive, maybe wait for them to make a mistake. Bacchus is a great learning point or turning point for you to learn from him and really take you to that next step as a support player and become a better player where you're actually starting the fights and you're engaging more often rather than not. And he is just a great character. He's easy to learn, easy to play, and he's super fun to play. So please go play him. I know we've been doing alphabetical, but I'm going to skip ahead just to Ymir so we get all the guardians out of the way. I think Ymir is an A+, but slightly above Athena. I don't think he's in the same tier as Athena, but he's definitely not S tier. He's not broken. Ymir is so powerful, so much better than he was in Smite 1. Ymir, his raw damage is so much higher, again, because of those new items. His CC potential is so massive. It's through the roof right now, guys. His stun, his wall, his ultimate, he uses these new items so well. Circe's Hexstone, you're able to channel Ymir ult and then dash away with Ymir ult, knocking people up and then confirming a full charge of his ult. He uses items like Stone of Binding really well. He uses Pharaoh's Curse really well. That's the slow item. He is just fantastic. He has so much utility. It's amazing. He feels so much better than he ever has. And he's such a basic character. He's just wall and stun. But something that's really nice about Ymir, and it's the same with Athena, is that he has an instant peel. He has the ability to look at somebody and say, bam, you're stunned. I just saved my teammate. Easy. That is so useful, and it should not go overlooked at all or undervalued at all. The ability to just look at somebody and say stunned. The ability to just look at somebody and say stop is so powerful. You have no idea how often you're going to need that, especially if you're playing with people you're not in communications with. You need the ability to just instantly say, hey, I'm going to save you now. And Ymir just has so many different build paths right now that he's so versatile, and he really does belong in this A+ spot. So please, again, just if Bacchus isn't open, my immediate next two is Ymir, 9 times out of 10. All right, now we're going back to the alphabetical. Sorry about that. But now we have Fenrir support. Fenrir is a really fun character in general. I think he's a good support. I do, however, think he's a better jungler. That just kind of is what it is. I personally think he can go in A or A+. But in terms of raw support, I think he's probably around A tier. Just because if you don't get an early lead, he does get shut down really easily. And for the average Smite player, you're not going to be consistently getting that early lead. I think is the best way I can put that. He is really easy to shut down, but if you do get that lead, and I want to make this perfectly clear, if you get a nice early lead on Fenrir support, he can go into A+ and probably a little bit around Ymir. He is really powerful. He has a lot of potential, but potential alone cannot make a character overbalanced or overtuned in a specific role. It's how consistently can they apply that. Me personally, I can get away with a lot of stuff on Fenrir because he fits a lot of the ways that I like to play. I like to jump in. I like to waste time for the enemies. I like to steal their stuff. He fits that perfectly for me. And building him full tank with like a shifter shield, maybe a glad shield, stone of binding, stuff like that. That's always been good on him based on how his ult works and just having really high base damage. But right now, you just need you kind of just need a little bit more CC that he gives you in order to be a really impactful support. And you still can go him. It's just he's not as relevant right now as he used to be. But like I said, it's all about potential. He has the potential. It's just a matter of consistency. So that's why he's an A. He's not bad at all. He's really good. He's just balanced in the support role because he has the potential, but it's just not consistent potential. Hope that makes sense. Hecate. Hecate's a surprising one for me. I've heard a lot of people say very different things about her. Me personally, I've played her a few games now. Not really enough to give a valid opinion on her, but I think she's probably B tier. She's not a great support. She is a fun support to play, but she's not great. Her only real form of help is when her one is in the mesmerize stance, and then her ultimate is a great tool for disruption in team fights, which all supports love. But again, it's just not consistent, and it's a lot less consistent than Fenrir was. So that's why she's going down in B tier here. It's also worth noting that although she has a health shield on her 3, that health shield is only against magical damaging abilities. So even that is just way too inconsistent for her to be in balance. I don't think this is a surprise to a lot of you. I think in mid, she's probably really high. But again, this is a support tier list for 1.0. And right now, again, she's fun to play. If you're in casuals, play the hell out of her. She's so much fun. But I don't think she provides enough value to be played over any of these characters right here. The Morrigan is a very fun character, and I'm going to put her in A tier simply because I have always enjoyed the Morrigan support. She is balanced in many ways. She's easy to deal with, but she's also easy to get in a monstrous lead with for your team. The ability to turn into anyone on the team and double ult or double whatever it is so powerful, especially with how strong Neith is right now. The Morrigan is so strong. Anywhere on the team, she's always been played as support in some hyper-specific use cases, but with Neith specifically, and how much damage Neith's ult can do, you and another teammate, if you just sit in Fountain and double charge Neith ult and just wait, you can pretty much just two-shot somebody if you get vision on them if they're squishy. And the nice thing about Morrigan ult is you're able to, while channeling an ult like Neith's, that's not going to detransform you. You can literally sit there the entire game inside of Neith ult if you wanted to. But not only that, she has an invisibility, so her ganking potential is really nice. Her 2 is a prot shred for buffs and objectives, which is really cool. And her stun is really powerful. It lasts a decent bit. It's on a short enough cooldown where it's impactful. It's not instant peel like the Ymir or the Athena, which we want, but it's still there. I think she's slightly leaning more towards the B side. I think Ares and Fenrir are clearly better than her, but I do think she's better than Hecate in many, many ways. I think she should be looked at whenever possible because she's just fun. Like, if you have a combo potential where 2 of this would be really powerful, feel free to go. Like, maybe, and here's a weird one for you. Maybe your Bacchus, or maybe your solo laner picks Bacchus, and he's going Bacchus solo, and you're like, well, 2 Bacchuses would actually sound insane, right? Double flop, double burp, double ult. That's insane. Double free poly autos on the 1. You could go double Bacchus, and you could jump in and knock up the entire team twice. And it's just, you have stuff like that. And she just really does offer a lot of potential that you have to really think outside the box for to see. And she does provide that consistently. So she's going in the same tier here. And now lastly, for our last character that I put on this list, we have Odin. I think Odin, he's about the same as Hecate in my eyes, where he's a great character in his preferred role. I think in support, not that amazing. His ultimate is so much fun, and that shouldn't go overlooked. I think the ult is a great disruption tool, especially for the anti-heal, and the bird bomb is a great tool, but he just works so much better in solo, and he doesn't have any of that real instant peel. It's the same story as Hecate and the same story as Fenrir, even, where he's just not as consistent as he needs to be a balanced support. There are use cases where he can do great in support, but that requires more of the team to build around you, rather you building into the team, which is what these higher tiers dictate. So because of that, he's going to go in the B tier. Again, he's not bad at all. Please understand, these two characters aren't bad. They're not even bad supports. They're just not as good as the other ones. They are good characters. There's just other characters that should be picked over them. And with that being said, I think that ends this video. Like I said, a little short and sweet. I still tried to give as much analysis as I possibly could because I don't want you guys to like be like, oh, this is just a 2-minute video, blah, 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 blah. So hopefully you find some value in this. If you have any questions, please ask. I am more than willing to listen. If you have any things you disagree with, again, please put that in the comments down below or message me on Discord. I don't care. I will love to have these discussions with you guys because I want us all to have the best supporting existence of our lives in Smite 2. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will update this as soon as some new characters drop or some updates move around. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.